later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Oh, good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Give to Cook out of the gun. And 3 yards there. Takes him to the 45.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And this is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Working out of the gun, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen, and that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
26-yard line.
game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Carolina! Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
That good for 22 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what worked.
It'll be tipped and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. There he goes right side, and he will score. Touchdown.
Part of what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
The ball carrier.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
42-yard line.
On play action, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson down, and it's caught inside the 30. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver, and as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Cousins. And a third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 2-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down up past the 15.
Complete to Christian.
A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. 21-0 our score after 1.
Vikings nothing.
And it looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And Dooley to return. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
32-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Again, it's Cousins. Complete. Richardson has it. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
A gain of 1.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. To the air again, it's Cousins. Strong coverage by Carolina. And we go to 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point, or in this case, a field goal.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So that's going to be a nice one for the passing stats, and that's how it will go down in the stat sheet. But the success of that play, no doubt, all thanks to the talents of the wideout.
Oh, he was definitely the recipient of good blocking as well, especially at the line of scrimmage. And once he got around the corner, you got the sense that no one was going to get him. Really nice ball handling, too, in order to get it to him.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, you don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
7-yard line.
Cousins on 1st down. This one's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins, complete, Jefferson the target. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
Gain of 13 yards.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st down.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
He's tackled at the 32.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And his throw is complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They go play action. Cousins. And now here's another interception. Dante Jackson picks it. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
At the 37-yard.
He'll air this one deep for Anderson. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
So the first thing that goes to my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Following the interception, Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Eli Apple, good to the core there as he gets in and knocks it away.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt.
A 34-yard attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. taken at about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
It's a gain of 3.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Panthers.
Here's McCaffrey. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd down.
Quick toss outright. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. They couldn't get anything going there out of the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them and don't have enough confidence to make a play?
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
1st and 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read there?
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Brian Burns able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Throwing, Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fighting him off. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing. Prescott. It's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
A gain of 11 on the play. And a Panther 1st down.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
Prescott off play action. Lines up and lets it go for 7. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Makes the score Panthers 42. Vikings 13.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range, and guess what? They've got a shot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, You can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Lead22Mojo22's able to record his 5th sack of the season. On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Panthers. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other, 2-hand. Oh, I get it, 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
9-yard line. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah,
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Justin Jefferson, the rookie, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4. Now Cousins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
First down, here's Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception.
Oh, my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Back at his own 49.
2nd and 11 now. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the Vikings' 19-yard line.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
This effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today.
A 28-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
5-yard line.
Cousins again. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. One last shot now for Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot
there. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Panthers, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.